Hello, my name is Chris Benson. I'm with Madonna University in Livonia, Michigan, and I'm the Associate Dean for Academic Advising and the First Year Experience. The first question you asked us to speak about was basically what the implementation was like for FOE. As a result of the FOE, Madonna University implemented almost all of the tasks in our action plan. First, we developed a philosophy for the first year experience that's in our undergraduate bulletin and in our print materials. We created an office of the first year experience about 2 years after FOE was piloted. We hired a director for that office that later morphed into my current title and role, and that was me, the Associate Dean for Academic Advising in the First Year Experience. We redesigned our first year seminar. It's called University 1010, and that was implemented about 3 years post FOE. We enhanced and standardized our service learning requirement for the first year seminar, and we strengthened and expanded our learning communities. For the past 3 to 4 years, we've had 100% enrollment in our learning communities, which is wonderful. And we created the Institutional Standing Committee on the first year experience. As you can imagine, all of those efforts resulted in the entire campus being aware of first year and first year students. And this began a serious movement in our campus to take the first year seriously and to really care more about students overall. And I think the word momentum comes to mind. When we started implementing pieces of the action plan, it just kept going on from there. Okay, next question was about challenges. The FOE process brought about awareness on our campus, but it also raised a lot of questions. Our institution has a small first-year population, about 200 students, and a much larger adult learner population. So there was pushback from people who thought that we were giving the first-year students too much attention, and we were not starting and working with the right population. So we assembled a 35-member task force as part of the FOE process. And those people were from units and divisions all over campus, and they really served as the cheerleaders who went back to those departments where there may have been some doubters and really sat down and influenced their thinking and shared information with them. When we started implementing the action plan, the detractors quickly saw the improvements that were being made, not just for first year students, but for other populations on campus. And I think that really added to that momentum. Another challenge was we did not implement the entire action plan as quickly as I would have liked. And it took several years, as a matter of fact. And, change takes time. It doesn't always go by these carefully crafted timetables that we like to create. So once we did start implementation, even though it took us longer than some people would have liked, the team saw that improvements were being made, and that just added to that momentum. Even after several key administrators and people from our original FOE team left and transitioned on to other opportunities, the implementation lived on because of the relationships and the achievements, and people saw that we were making a difference in the lives of students, and that just kept it going. The question is, what did you learn? I think as an institution, we learned that meaningful, sustainable improvements take time. Personally, I learned to have patience and trust the process. Not everyone jumped on board the FOE bandwagon as quickly as I would have liked, and some still have not. But the improvements we've made in the 10 years since we started implementing the FOE, I know that first year students are in such a better place than they were at that time, and so is Madonna University as an institution. And the next question is, what advice would you give this year's participants? My advice is trust the FOE process. It works. For various reasons, it took us more than 1 or 2 years to implement our action plan, but our patience has definitely paid off. We were a founding institution that began the FOE process, and were part of it in the 2003-2004 timeframe. I'd say our implementation plan was almost completely implemented by 2008. And our iPad's retention rate has increased 12 points since 2007, which equates to a savings of well over $1 million. in just tuition and fees alone. But let's talk about the human capital there. How much have we saved in less stress for our students, less disappointment for our students feeling more successful? That's what it's all about, and that's definitely what I think the FOE will result in for institutions. That's what it meant for us, so it's definitely worth the process.